Today we are going to read a science article, and the genre is a science article, which is nonfiction text. It can explain why certain things happen in nature. The other thing that we're going to notice throughout this science article is the text features, and the timeline is the one that we're going to pay attention to. A timeline shows a sequence of important events. It tells about each event and when it happened. So this right here is an example of a timeline that you might see in our science article today. You can see that it has a title, The Wolves of Yellowstone. Then it has dates on this side of events, when events happened, and then on this side it tells what happened. So you can see that in 1872, many wolves live and hunt in Yellowstone National Park. Then if you look at 1924, it says hunters kill hundreds of wolves, coyotes become the main predator. Then in 1943, pronghorn numbers drop, elk destroy trees, beavers disappear. So on this side, it's the date, and on this side, it tells what happened on that date. So we're going to do a quick picture walk. The title is When the Wolves Returned, and it's adapted from a book by Dorothy Hinshaw Patten, and the photographs are by Dan Hartman and Cassie Hartman, and they're photographs, which then we also know means that it's going to be nonfiction. The photographs are real. So you'll notice there's lots of text features. We have photographs with captions. Here's another photograph with a caption. Right here is a map, just like a little snapshot of a part of a map. And it shows in green right here that that's where Yellowstone National Park is in Wyoming. Right here's our first timeline. Here's another picture, and you can see there's a caption in the picture. These wolves are hunting. More pictures with captions. Right here, the wolves disappeared, more and more elk filled the park. A fox. Here's another timeline. Some more photographs. A pronghorn fawn right here, and this is an elk, and the elk eats young shoots. So here, right here, you can see up close is elk eat tree bark. Another timeline. Here's another photograph. A beaver builds a dam, and another photograph of a school with another type. Here's young wolves. Another timeline. Some more photographs with a timeline. And again. And that will be the end. So let's start back at the beginning. And I'm going to read through the science article, and then we'll do it again the second time, just like we always do. When the wolves returned. So we're going to start up here. It says set a purpose. Find out why wolves are an important part of an ecosystem. And we've kind of talked about that. So you might have some ideas. Let's begin. The first national park. Where would you go to see some of Earth's natural wonders? You might go to a place called Yellowstone. In Yellowstone, geysers shoot steam high into the air and waterfalls flow into colorful canyons. All kinds of wildlife roam the land. Luckily, this special place became the world's first national park in 1872. So remember, there's bold text. So in Yellowstone, geysers shoot steam high into the air. Geysers shoot steam as hot water comes up from under the ground. And then you can see here's a picture that helps us understand that steam rises from a geyser. So here you can see hot water coming up from under the ground. And then national park right here. National park is a protected area of land. So the animals and the plants, everything in the park is protected. So you can't hunt or destroy property in a national park. Trouble with wolves. The purpose for making Yellowstone a national park was to protect its natural wonders for visitors. People enjoyed seeing animals in the park. People enjoyed seeing animals in the park too, like elk and deer. But wolves fed on them. So hunters were paid to kill the wolves. Park officials did not understand that killing the wolves would throw nature out of balance. So fed on right here is they killed and ate. So wolves killed and ate the other animals. So then hunters were paid to kill the wolves. Park officials, down here, park officials are the people in charge of Yellowstone. And then they did not understand that killing the wolves would throw nature out of balance. To throw nature out of balance means to change the way the animals usually live and die. Yellowstone without wolves. By 1926, the wolves were all gone. Without wolves to hunt them, the number of elk increased. To control the elk population, rangers, so here's rangers or park workers, trapped them and sent them to other parks. Rangers also had to shoot and kill the elk to keep the numbers down. Coyotes also increased in number. Without wolves at the top of the food chain, they became Yellowstone's main predator. And down here, main predator is their top killer. Coyotes eat everything from elk calves to insects. So they eat elk babies, that's what calves mean, to insects. But mostly they eat small animals like ground squirrels. So coyotes made it harder for other animal predators like foxes to find food. And then right here you can see we have a timeline. And I didn't address it on the other one. Maybe I'll go back and do that when we read it the second time. Pronghorns in danger. Coyotes in Yellowstone also fed on newborn pronghorns. They became experts at finding pronghorn fawns. And fawns, well, pronghorns are animals that look like deer, and fawns are their babies. So with so many coyotes in the park, pronghorn numbers dropped. Every year, fewer pronghorn fawns survived. Park managers worried that pronghorns might disappear completely. New plants don't grow. Even the trees and shrubs suffered. Suffered means hurt. So even the trees and the shrubs were hurt because the wolves were gone. The elk ate young shoots and bark. Young shoots are new plants. So the elk are eating the new little plants that are growing. Young trees and shrubs could not grow fast enough to replace the old ones that died. Soon, the birds that nested in the trees and bushes became rare. So nested means made their home. So soon the birds that nested or made their homes in the trees and bushes became rare or fewer in number. Beavers disappear. Beavers use their teeth to cut down trees. They store the trees to eat during the winter, or they save the trees to eat during the winter. They also use the trees to build dams, and we know that dams are walls that hold back water. Beaver dams create ponds and provide homes for ducks and other animals. Without trees, the beavers could not survive. They were almost gone from part of the park by the 1950s. A solution. Many of the problems in the park began soon after the wolves were eliminated. Now, eliminated is down here means killed. So many of the problems in the park began after the wolves were killed. Scientists predicted that bringing wolves back would help. Wolves could control the number of coyotes and elk, and this would allow or make it possible for plants and other animals to live and grow. The wolves return. Wolves from Canada were brought to Yellowstone in 1995 and 1996. 7 groups of wolves were set free in the park. Each pack, we know a pack is a group of wolves, lived in a wide area called a territory. It didn't take long for the wolves to feel at home or to enjoy living in Yellowstone. There were a lot of animals, especially elk, for them to hunt. Year by year, the number of wolves in Yellowstone grew. When a pack became too big, it broke into smaller packs. These groups slowly filled the park. Now, about 12 wolf packs live in Yellowstone. There are usually around 150 wolves in the park. And then again, here's another timeline. Nature's balance returns. Wolves saw the coyotes as competition. They killed coyotes or chased them out of their territories. Now, with fewer coyotes hunting them, pronghorn and other animals survive more easily. Foxes, owls, and other animals also benefit. Ooh, you might remember benefit from our root of the week. Benefit means do better. So foxes, owls, and other animals were doing better. There are fewer coyotes to compete with them for the same food or to fight over the same food. Without wolves, elk lingered along the streams, which means they stayed near the small rivers and the small streams in the park. They ate young trees before they had a chance to grow. Now the elk must keep moving. This makes it harder for wolves to find them. Because the elk are moving, trees can grow again. Beavers come back. The animals that need the trees are also coming back. For example, in 1996, only one beaver colony, or group of beavers, lived in the northern part of the park. By 2003, there were 9. Scientists hope that birds that hunt from trees, like owls, will also become more common, or increase in their number. A balanced ecosystem. Returning the wolf is helping to make Yellowstone whole again, or a balanced ecosystem. So by bringing the wolves back, they're hoping everything will balance out, right? So returning the wolf is helping to make Yellowstone whole again. Scientists hope that as the years go by, even more plants and animals will come back. Today, Yellowstone is becoming a healthy system again, thanks to the wolves' return.